Let us look at another program. In this program, we are supposed to add the details of an employees and then show all the records as well as display the record according to the department that is being selected. So let's go ahead with the program. I'm going to start a new project. So I'll click on File, New, and Project. Under the project, I will select empty web application. You can give any name to your project, say like employee details. Okay, I will just give some name because that name may be there. Once the project is created, we are supposed to add this many information to the, not this one, sorry, add this many information to the table. So let's go ahead and let's add these information, that is employee number, employee name, department, and basic salary. We need to add them to the project. So I'll go ahead and I'll go to the Solution Explorer. Again, if the Solution Explorer is not visible, go to View and you will find the Solution Explorer. Right click on it and on the project, and then add new item. So this is as usual, you need to just right click on the project name, add, and then add new item. Once that is done, let me add a simple web page. So I'll select a simple web page. Okay, give it any name. I'm going to give it a name as home. You can give any name. Okay, that's all you need to do. Let me go ahead and let me add go to the design here. So go to the design and I'm going to put it in the form of a table. So let's go ahead and let's add a table. To do that, I'll go to the table, and under that table I'm going to go and say insert table. So table, insert table. So once I do that, I need 2 rows and 2 columns for now, and I'm going to add the additional thing as and when required. The first thing that we need to do is I have to show the employee details. So I'll put a heading employee details, and then I have the employee number, employee name, and department, and basic salary. Okay, employee number as employee number. I'll make it as short. Employee name and department and basic salary. I think salary. Oops. I think that's all I need to do to the to input them, and then I need some text boxes in front of them. So if you notice over here, the table is slightly moved to the other side. Just drag that table so that it comes to approximately, it looks neat. Okay, so then I go to the toolbox and I keep my cursor here in front of the employee table. So I keep the cursor here near the employee table. Go to the toolbox and then I'm going to search for the text box. So I have the text box, just double click on it and you get the employee number. Now in front of the employee name, keep the cursor, double click on the text box, you got the employee name, and the department I'm going to use the drop down. So go to the toolbox and click on the drop down. So you have this drop down list, double click on it, you have the drop down list being generated there. I'm going to add few items to the department. So in front of the drop down, let's click on the arrow here, and then I'm going to say edit items. So once you click on this edit items, you get a dialog box. So that looks a bit bigger. Click on this add, and add the item. The first item I'm going to add is accounting. I think accounts department. The value, let it be the same. Now the next one is I'm going to add the next one, and that happens to be sales, and the last one happens to be IT, maybe something. Okay, that's all. I don't want to put too many things in front of the basic. Let me keep the cursor in front of the basic, and let's go to the toolbox and double click on the text box. So we have all these things being added. Let me click on so if you really don't know how to get the next row, just press tab and you get the next row there. And here I'm going to put a button. So I'm going to just click on the button here. So double click on the button and you have the button being added. I'll go to the properties of this button and I'm going to change the text of this button as add. You can do anything, so add. I must show a confirmation to the user that the things are being added. So I'm going to just press tab here. Remember, once you are in the table, once you are in the last column of the table, if you press tab, a new row is added automatically for you. So I have again, if you have done it by mistake, use Ctrl Z to undo the actions. So let's go ahead and let's add a label. I will put a label here. So this label is going to show me the results when I have inserted the record. Now I need a database. So let's go to the Solution Explorer, and in the Solution Explorer, again, if the Solution Explorer is not visible, go to View and then you get the Solution Explorer. So let's go ahead do that. Right click on the Solution Explorer and sense a new add new items. So as usual, add new items, and then under the data, so select data. So under the data, select SQL data source. So that's it. You can give any name to your database. I will not bother to give a name to the database. If at all you want, you give it. So it's going to say something that it's going to add something and so on and so forth. Click yes to add it. Again, in the last class, as in the last video, as I have told you, if it's not working, just go to the services, just type here services and then start the services, and see to it that under services all the SQL services are running by right clicking on it and then start the service. If it's already starting, don't stop it. If it is not, you are not able to start it, go to the properties and make changes over here. Anyone you can select it, and then you will see the start being shown to you. So you do it. It's in my case it's running. I don't want to spoil the running show, so I will leave that thing. Now I need a table, so I will go to the database here. Right click on the database and say open. Once you open that table, and you will notice that in the Server Explorer you will notice that there are no tables out there in your database. So right click on the, I am in the Server Explorer. Again, Server Explorer is not visible, search for it. You will get the Server Explorer under the menu view. So everything is available. If something is not visible, go to view and you will find them. So now let me come back to this. You have the database, you have the table. Right click on the table and say add new table. And what are the information I am supposed to store in this table? If you look at that, when I display it, these are the information I am storing. So I am storing employee number, employee name, department and salary. So let's go ahead with that. So I have the employee number, and if you want, you can take it anything. I will take it as enter. If you want, you can take it number. Nobody is preventing you from doing it. Now this is a wrong way of writing it. So employee number. So remember, there is no, do not put the space in between here. And then employee name, I think employee name, Do not put the space in the column field here, otherwise you will be in trouble. Nothing is going to happen, but you are in much bigger trouble. Then you have this department. So then varchar, okay, let it be, and salary. Say I'm going to say numeric, say 16,2. You can do any number here. This something 16,2. I think that's all you need to do here. You don't need anything extra. So that's thing. Once it is done, let me click on save. If you are not given a name to the table, and if you try to save it, it's going to ask you for the name of the table. So I will give the table name as employee. Any name is okay. Employee details. If you have given some other name, it's all right. It's not going to make much of a difference. Click OK. That's it. You've done it. Now let's come back to our project here, and I need a data source in order for me to add to the database. So let's go to the data source. Let's go to the toolbox. Under the toolbox, go down and under the data. So go under the data. So you are in the standard. Generally you are in the standard set. Go to the data. Under data you will find SQL data source. So you find somewhere SQL data source. So double click on it. That's it. You get that thing, SQL data source. Click on configure data source. Click on it. Select your table. I think which one? Let's go next. Let's go next. I think there is SDF is there. I will select MDF. Employee details. You have the employee details. Nothing much to be done. Click next. If you want, you test the query. There's nothing is there in that table. Finish it off, and all done. Now the next thing, when I click on this add button, the things should be added to the database. So double click on this add button. So simple as that. Double click on this add button and you're done. So here you are supposed to write the code. So the code that you are going to write is to insert something into the database. So to insert, we need an insert command, and I'm going to generate that insert command. So how do I generate the insert command? I will go to the database and then say open the database. So just search for the database, open the database, and you have this employee details table. Right click on it and then say new query. Once you click on new query, you're going to get this query wizard. Add this, you need to add this table here by clicking on this add. So add it. Once it is added, just close it. You're done. Now go here and change the type. So you need to change the query type to insert values. So see to it that you are going for insert value. So once you are in the insert value, you will notice that insert into command will appear. You need to add them. So go here and select the individual fields. These are just a sample data. Employee number 101, employee name, one name, employee department, say IT, and lastly employee salary, say 35,000 something. You have done it. Now this is what we really require. This is the one that is required for us, and it is in the multiple lines. So I'm going to get them in a single line. So just get them in the single line, and as told before, there are spaces which has to be used. So if you remove the spaces, your query itself will be wrong and you will get unexpected result. So See here, value is touching that. Just make sure that you have the spaces in between the keywords. So this value is a keyword, insert into is a keyword. So all these things you have to follow the SQL statements. So I'm going to select everything, Control C, and now let's go. So I've selected it. Let's go to our project, and we are supposed to add it. So our data source, if you look at the data source here, the name of the data source is SQL data source 1. So that's it. We will add them to the SQL data source 1. So I'm going to say SQL data source 1 dot insert command. So insert command, and put a two double quotes here, put a semicolon. So here we are supposed to copy it. In between you just copy it, Control V to copy it. So you have done the whole thing. Now only thing is you need to replace these things. So 101 has to be replaced. So how do I replace 101? So select 101, two double quotes, come inside, two plus sign, come inside, and then text box 1 dot text. There is a text box 1, text box 1 dot text. That's it, you get it. Now second one is my name, and there is single quote. Do not touch that single quote, it's required. Okay, so you have this two double quotes, come inside, two plus sign, come inside. Now then you have this text box 2 dot text. Okay, done. The third one happens to be the drop down list. So again, two double quotes are required, single quotes are required, two double quotes, and then two plus sign. Now we have this drop down list 1, and then dot selected item. So where is this selected value? So you have the selected value. That's it, you've done it. Last one happens to be 3500. Be extremely careful not to disturb the others, comma and all those things. So you don't touch them, you just touch the things which are really need to be changed. So this 35,000 has to be replaced. So just double quotes 2 times, 2 plus sign, and then you have this text box. So this text box happens to be text box 3 dot text dot text, and that's it, we are done with it. So all our statements are done. Now only thing we need to do now is SQL data source, SQL data source 1 dot you call the insert command. Look at this one, this is the text, this is the property, this is the method. You just call the method. Whenever you call the method, put 2 parentheses. Now if everything is going fine, we will go to this label 1 which we have added. That is the label 1 that we have added here. This is the label 1 that we have added here, label 1 dot text, and we say that record inserted. Okay, that's it. If things are going fine, we must be able to add the record. Let's give it a try and let's see whether we are in a position to insert a record. So there are some build errors. No, where are the build errors? So there is one expected. Oh, I think I forgot to put a semicolon at the end. Just put the semicolon. Okay, that's it. Give it a try, and then we have our server running. Everything is working fine, and we must be able to insert one record into the table. Let me say employee number 101, and say Lata. Accounts, let's say she is earning 25,000. Okay, that's it. Add it. If everything goes fine, record inserted. Wow, we are done with it. Let's stop it and let's go to the database. I will go to the Server Explorer to my database. And if the server explorer is not visible, go here and then you will find server explorer. Okay, so we have it, the tables here. Right click and say show the table data, and if things are proper, it should be stored here. So you get this thing stored. Now what they have asked to do next is I think this is done by Sarika. Sarika, you have not done it properly. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7, I think you have not read the question and you have taken the printout, I suppose. According to the question, if you go up, let's see, so I'm using her, she has submitted her PDF, and I think oh, it is 5. Okay, so you have done it properly. I thought it was 10 records, so it is 5, at least 5 records. Okay, thank you. So you have done it properly. So see to it that according to them you need 5 records to be inserted. So that is one requirement is there. I have inserted only 1. So Sarika has inserted 7, at least means 5 is required. So she has inserted more than 5, so that's okay. So I thought it was 10 records, but it is 5 now. Okay, so let's look at what she has done. Here we need to show the details, so that we're going to show it in a new what to say page. So let me add a page here. So I have this employee details. Right click on it and I'm going to say add new items. So add new items, and then under the web I'll select web, and under web you will get web form. So let me show, you can give any name. I will give all records, click OK, add, done. Go to the design view, that's also done. So go to the design view and then insert a, now you may notice that I am not doing all colorful things, because you know how to do the colorful things. First you get the things working and then go for the colorfuls. So if it is working fine, if you are able to insert it, then you've done most of the things, then you know how to format it. So let's go ahead and let's go to the, where is it, grid view. So let's go and drag a grid view. So I'm going to just double click on this grid view, and then I'm going to select the new data source. So select it, SQL data source, then click SQL database, then click OK. And I think I have the connection string. So last time I was a bit struggling with that, and it is connecting to that. Let's go ahead and you have to display everything. That's it. Next, and test the query, and 1 record must be there, and finish it up. Now because okay, now this is been done. Now what Sarika has done here is she has only kept that. You notice that employee name, employee field is coming as is. Okay. What you can do here is because you have already taken the printout, you can't do many things now. If at all you want, you can just edit this field. I think I have already shown you this. Edit columns. You go to the edit columns, and then for the heading employee number, that heading will be there. Okay, so employee number. So employee number, this heading text will be there, that you can edit actually. Okay, you can put a space there. Okay, and employee number, you can put a space there. So when you put the space here, you notice that it's going to appear with the space. You can see there. Okay, so this you are supposed to do. Sarika has not done that. Okay, so in any case, we will proceed with the work. So now I have to come to this page, that is all records from my ASPX. I will go to the home ASPX and I will press a tab, and I will put a button here. So I will go and add a button. to this particular place. So I have a button here, and I will change the properties of this button. Right click and say properties, and I am not zooming it because it is a bit annoying if I try to zoom something and the screen is jumping every now and then. So let's say all records, show all records. You can give any name there. So show all records, done. Double click on this one. So what to do over here? It is simple. Response dot redirect to the page that you want to go, and the name of that page happens to be the all records.aspx. The name that whatever that name you are giving to the file, aspx. So that's it. Don't start with this one, let's start with the home page. So select the home page and then run it, so that it starts with the home page and you are able to go to the next one. So if I click on show record, I have only one record, and you notice that there is a space now. Okay, there is a space. So you get the records, and the next thing that they have asked us to do is depending upon the department, we are supposed to show the details. So select a department and then show the details. So let's go ahead and let's do that, and I'm going to type something. Select a department. Okay. Now you, if you are good in copy pasting it, just copy this thing. The department details are there. Control C and Control V it here. So that's it. Okay. Automatically it will make it as a drop down list too. All these things are taken care by the Visual Studio. So we don't need to do anything. Let me put a button, that's all. The last thing is a button in front of it. So this I just copy pasted it. Just copy paste it and it is all done. You have a button here, right click on it and then say to the properties, show details. Okay, and that's it. When I click on this show details, accounts department details should be shown. So double click on it, and what are the things you need to do? You need a session object, and in the session object, let me zoom it and say in the session object I am going to say one variable name Dept. Remember, I will make it a small case Dept because this name that you are giving, that acts as an index, so it is case sensitive. So which is the one that you are selecting? So you have this drop down list here. This is the second drop down list, not the first one. See, look at here, you have two drop down lists. This is the first one and this one will be the second one. So I'm talking about the second drop down list. So from the second drop down list, select selected values, selected value, that's it. And then it is the same thing. So you are good in copy pasting it, just copy paste it, Control C and Control V, and then I need to change this one. I need a, oh, I think I have not done the page here. I need a page to show the details. So let me add a page. Go to the Solution Explorer, go to the employees, right click, add new items. I need one more page, add new item. It's a simple, add a new page. Okay. Department, anything you can give. Name is not a matter. And here go to the design view again. Once you have the table, just go to the design view. The name does not make much of a difference, so just add it. And again, as usual, you need a data grid. So go to the tools and go to the under data, go to grid view. It is same what you have done in the last term. That's the same thing you are doing under the data. So search under the data. So under the data, grid view, double click, and that's it, you've done it. Now click on this one, choose the data source, go for the new data source, select SQL database, click OK, select the connection string. So connection string is already there, click next, and I need a where clause. So only difference is where clause because we are searching the thing. So select everything, star, you know very well what is the meaning of saying star. Where I'm going to click where department is equal to session, and the field name that you give is DEPT. Remember, that's what I told you. DEPT is the one name that you have given. If you have given some other name there, the same name has to come here. If you are not doing it, you will not get the result. After that, this name is the one that you gave in the employee table when you click on that. Okay, DEPT, click on this add. Just by doing this will not work, just some people forget to click on this. Add is required, click OK, and as usual test the query. This whenever you have condition, just test the query. I think she was there in the IT department, so let's click on the value IT and click OK, and I must get the Lata's record. If I am not getting, then I am in trouble. So what was her name was, oh, she was in accounts department. Okay, so that's bad. So let me run it, click on it, and I must get Lata's record. Okay, I get Lata's record. That means I am doing it correct. Click on finish, and that's it. You need to do, you don't need to do anything. Now suppose if you feel like, okay, so what is this, you are not getting this is required for your examination. Now after that, if you want to show something beautiful, it's up to you. Okay, once the things are working, then you can make it beautiful. If the things are not working, then you may have to repeat the whole thing again in the next semester. So beautifying, you keep it later. First do what is really required. So let's go ahead and let's go to the home.aspx. So when I click on this show button, I am not supposed to go to all records. So when I click on this button, that is the in front of the account, I'm not supposed to go here. I am supposed to go to the department.aspx. That's the only thing, department. So look at the names here, DEPARTMENT. Okay, department.aspx. Okay, that's all you need to do. Done. Go to the home page, run it, and it should work. So go ahead and I'll select accounts. So this is it, show record. I must get Lata's record. Now just to make the things 102 is my second employee, and Naresh is my employee, and he is working in the IT department, and his basic salary is say 35,000. Add him. Now if this label is annoying you, you can remove it. So record has been inserted. I'll go and search for IT department, and then Naresh record must be there. If I come back and then click on show all the record, I must get Lata's and Naresh record. Okay, with all the detail. Oh, I think I made 2,500 rupees. Okay, that's all you need to do. Now only thing is, if at all you really require it, you can just put when you click on the show details, you can put a text on top of it saying that it is from that department. It's up to you whether you want it, you do it, or whether you don't like it, don't do it. Yeah, that's all you need to do, and I will stop the record.